Today I want to take a look at two cool licks from the solo of the latest Prog School single, Unbalanced Tranquility. What you heard at the beginning of this video was a live take of this solo, and there isn't anything particularly crazy going on, but I want to take a look at a couple of the licks that I think are a little more interesting. Here's lick number one. The solo section from this song is in D natural minor except for one chord, which I'll talk about in the second lick, but this first lick is happening over a B flat major 7 to a G minor 11 and back to a B flat major 7. What I'm doing for most of this lick is just using the D minor pentatonic scale. And what that's doing over these particular chords is giving me some of the extensions of these chords. Here's how the lick starts. So that's D minor pentatonic, and I'm also adding in the ninth, so the note E. And over this B flat major 7 chord, you have third, fifth, then ninth and third, seventh, third, ninth. And then this note E is the sharp 11. One other thing I'm doing here is these wider intervals, and I'm achieving that in a pretty simple way. I'm just taking a minor pentatonic scale, and I'm skipping every other string. So I play the A string, G string, and then the high E string. And that's a really easy way to get these wider intervals. You can move it up through different shapes of the pentatonic. I like to use that for faster licks sometimes too. Those kinds of sounds with bigger intervals, but you don't really even have to think about what you're doing because you're just playing a scale shape that you know, just skipping some strings. And I continue that idea up, this time using some other notes from the natural minor scale. And then it's back to pentatonic. And notice there's some groups of fives in here too, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? It's just kind of mixing up the groupings of how I'm playing these instead of just always going right with the groove. The end of this lick uses a shape I really like. It's really just a power chord, so in this case an F power chord, with an added ninth. And I just go down that with triplets. Triplet, triplet. And then into some more scale runs. And I land on that B flat where that second B flat chord hits. This lick isn't really that difficult technically, but I found some of these stretches and position shifts a little bit tricky. So I'd really focus on nailing those. And you have a pretty big jump between all of these. And you're covering a lot of ground, so even though it's not really fast, it is a little more difficult than it looks. And here's lick number 2. This is the flashiest lick from the whole solo. It's mostly 16th notes at 150 beats per minute, so it goes by pretty quick. And I'm going to break it into two halves for you. The first part of this lick happens over a D minor 6-9 chord. And I mentioned that most of this solo uses the natural minor scale, but over this particular chord I'm going to play Dorian because that's really the best sound for this, because you have a minor chord with the major 6, the note B. Here's how the first part of this lick goes. What I'm doing here is kind of living in a minor pentatonic box, D minor pentatonic. I'm bend from the 12th fret to the 14th fret of the G string. And then we start the 16th notes. And first I just fill in the gaps with the minor pentatonic. So from 10 to 13 on the B string, up and back. And there I am hitting the note B for the Dorian sound, but I'm also hitting the B flat, which comes from the natural minor. But really these are all just passing tones, because I'm playing really quickly. And then from there, I just go down the Dorian mode, 3 notes per string. So. Once I hit that note B on the D string, I do a D minor 6 arpeggio, which is what this chord is. And that looks like this. arpeggio. And then right away I'm going to jump up to the 13th fret of the A string to hit a B flat, because that's the next chord that happens. That's maybe the trickiest part of this whole lick, is doing that jump. And this is all alternate picked as well, so that can get a little bit tricky, especially during this arpeggio. So I would just take it slow, making sure you're nailing all the different notes and the different transitions, and then you can move on to the second half of the lick. Here's the second half of this lick. What I'm doing here is just some arpeggio fragments from D natural minor, because it goes back to a B flat chord. It's really kind of this walking bass line down to the next section of the solo. So I'm playing a B flat major 7, B flat major 9, and I'm going pick, hammer, sweep, upstroke. This is 4 16th notes and 1 8th note. And I'm doing another arpeggio from the scale. So this is C7 in first inversion, starting on the 14th fret of the D string. Then a D minor 7, starting on the 15th fret of the D string. And then another D minor 7, starting on the 17th fret of the G string. So I'm kind of just working my way up the fretboard with different arpeggios from the natural minor scale. And I'm using the same picking pattern for all those little fragments. And this one kind of rolls off the fingers pretty well. I think it's a little bit easier than the first half of this lick. And then the next part of the solo starts on the 15th fret of the B string. Here's this whole fast lick played slowly. So there's a couple of the cool licks from this solo. I have full guitar tabs available for this song on my Gumroad and my Bandcamp. All the links will be below in the description. If you enjoyed this lesson, subscribe, hit the bell notification, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Till next time, stay proggy.